Hello, and welcome to this presentation on Iread, Indiana's Foundational Reading Skills Assessment. I'm your presenter, Jessica Zepic, Elementary Principal at Indiana Gateway Digital Academy. Let's first start talking about what is Iread. So it is a reading assessment that measures foundational reading skills that includes a student's ability to read and understand grade level text. There was a law established in 2010 that basically states that an evaluation is required of reading skills for all third grade students to ensure that they can read at grade level prior to entering fourth grade. Who takes Iread? So all second grade and third grade students in Indiana are required to take Iread. Third grade students who didn't pass in second or retained in third grade or who did not test previously are required to take it. You can see the testing windows there for the state, but over to the right are our INGDA summer testing windows. So we'll be administering Iread again the week of May 18th and the week of June 15th. You'll see in the little notes section that second grade students may participate in one summer opportunity and third grade students may participate in two summer opportunities. So we're going to get into, in a couple of slides, who takes the tests when. But let's first start talking about why second grade students are even taking this test if it's measuring third grade skills. Basically, the Indiana Department of Education is committed to supporting early literacy by giving schools this reading data so that we know how to help students gain that reading proficiency. So basically, the second grade students take it. If they pass, they do not have to take it anymore. But if they don't, then they get additional opportunities after receiving some targeted support at their schools, which we're doing. We're doing both in our whole group and small group lessons. So it is imperative that your students attend class at INGDA, attend their small groups and tutoring sessions that are assigned to them. So now we're going to look at how Iread is scored in second grade. So this is for grade 2 students. They either score at risk, on track, or pass. At risk just means that they're flagged for early support and remediation. They're required to be offered summer school, and we do offer summer school at INGDA. In your email, there will be a link for you to enroll your second grader into summer school. They have to attend summer school in order to take the summer retest opportunity. If your second grader scored on track, then they will have one summer retest opportunity. And of course, if they pass, then they have fulfilled the testing requirements and summer school is not offered. So again, if your second grade student scores on track or at risk, the at-risk students are offered summer school. And in order for them to retake the test, they have to attend 90% of that summer school program. Now moving on to third grade students. They receive either a did not pass or a pass score. If third graders pass, then summer school is not required. They've fulfilled the testing requirement. However, if third grade students don't pass, then they are required to be offered summer school and they'll automatically be enrolled in that. That's not something that you have to sign them up for. And they will have two summer retest opportunities. And we're going to look at dates for those. If the third grade student does not pass either of those two summer opportunities, we are required by the state to retain them in third grade, meaning that for the 26-27 school year, they will redo third grade unless they have a good cause exemption, which those are rare. On the next slide, we'll talk about that. And then students will continue to participate in Iread until they pass or they are promoted to 7th grade. Here are examples of criteria that would qualify a student for good cause exemption. So you can read through those on the slide, but typically those are tied into an IEP. Okay, so let's talk about summer school. Who is offered summer school? second grade students who scored at risk, and third grade students who did not pass. Those are the two categories of students that are offered summer school. If they don't attend summer school, they will, or at least 90% of the summer school, then students will be required to participate in an individual reading plan next school year that's aligned with the science of reading. Here are the dates for our summer school program at Indiana Gateway Digital Academy. It will run from Tuesday, May 26th through Friday, June 12th. The live instruction will take place from 9 to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then the students will have approximately 40 minutes of homework or independent work that they will do outside of that class. The class will run similarly to our daily classes now, except for it's just an hour. And these classes will be taught by INGDA teachers who have gone through the science of reading training. So they are very qualified teachers. Okay, you can see when the scores will be available as far as in that system. And when the students take the Iread, they'll get a little login card that will show you how to get to those scores. Okay, there are a couple ways to help at home. So I know that this creates some anxiety because it is a high stakes test in the fact that third graders will not be able to move on to fourth grade until they pass it. So there are a couple of resources that the Indiana Department of Education has put out to help at home. So one of those are just questions, example questions that you can ask your student as they read fiction and nonfiction books. So it's important to not only get them reading every day, but actually interacting with those texts to improve comprehension. Phonics is another key component of Iread, and those are important skills to practice. So they've provided some examples of practicing beginning, middle, and final sounds, long and short vowels, as well as context clues and text features. Some other examples of phonics practice would include synonyms, antonyms, homographs, homonyms, homophones, and you can see some examples there. The DOE has also developed what's called the Indiana Learning Lab, and you can see the web address for that here. But you can go to the Indiana Learning Lab and register for a free account, and that will give you access to the Literacy Center, which just has a wealth of resources and information regarding helping your student become a better reader. They also have what's called a released item repository. So you can actually get on there and have your students do practice questions for the Iread. And so they can become familiar with the platform as well as practice some of those questions. So if you just Google Indiana Department of Education Iread, it will take you to this landing page and you can see where you can click on those example items. Once you're there, if you just toggle on as a guest user and guest session, you'll be able to get to those practice questions. We are definitely here to help you along the way, and we encourage you to reach out with any questions that you have about this slideshow, about the information, resources shared, or just general questions. We are happy to help and answer those. So you can reach out to myself, Jessica Zepik, elementary principal. You see my email address and phone number there. We also have Lindsay Meyer, who is a wonderful resource at INGDA. She's our reading specialist. Her email address is there, lmeyer@ingda.net. Both of us would be more than happy to answer your questions regarding Iread. Thank you.